Hi, so here we are again. Well, for this episode, I'd like to introduce our next series on forgotten values. Things that we've grown up with, things that our parents have taught us, but somehow we may seem to have forgotten or let it slide a little bit in our years in the corporate sector. So the three things that we're going to be talking about are going to be on integrity. We're also going to be talking about gratitude. And then the last virtue that we're going to be talking about is loyalty. For today, we're going to start with integrity. So, what is integrity? Well, integrity, I think if you look at Wikipedia, if you look at Oxford Dictionary and you sort of check the definition of it, you're going to see a host of different interpretations, and they all have to do with righteousness, they all have to do with unification, they all have to do with so many good things, and that's fantastic, right? But from a practical perspective, it's kind of difficult to nail all those good things down into a simple package that people can understand by. So here's my take on it, and this is just my take. It might ruffle some feathers, but hey, if I got you thinking, then I've got half the battle won. So my take on integrity. Integrity is basically the alignment of the words of your mouth and the actions of your hands. Essentially, walking the talk, saying what you do and doing what you say. That's integrity. Now, then the question that begs to be asked is, why is integrity so important these days? It's business. We are here to make money. Well, I've got two perspectives for you. First perspective is from the aspect of business itself. Let's understand that every business, no matter what industry you're in, every business is built on the foundation of integrity. It's a transaction. Essentially, what we're saying is that you give us something and we will provide you something in return. So if what you say, which is we will provide you something in return, is not what you do, i.e. the services or the products that you provide is not up to par, then my business is deemed to have low integrity. In which case, well, the law of market forces says my business isn't going to last very long. Second, from a leadership manager perspective, if leaders and managers are deemed or even perceived to do the things that they don't say or not say the things that they do, and these two are not aligned, then the credibility of the leader or the manager is at stake. And once you lose credibility, trust goes down. And if trust goes down, usually the effort needed to rebuild trust is many, many times the effort that it was required to build it in the first place. So how then do you build something so intangible, integrity? It's really not easy at all. But here are some tips that I hope you will find useful. Well, the first thing that you got to do is you got to list down your principles. What is it that you believe in? What is it that, can you list them down one by one, the values that you live by on a daily basis, or the values that you truly, truly believe in with all your heart? And two questions, I suppose, that will help you list them down. One, what are the values that people associate with you? And what are the values that you associate with yourself, your brand, so to speak? The second thing that you've got to answer is, what's your line in the sand? By that, what I mean is, you can't focus on everything. Otherwise, you'd be walking on water, and none of us are perfect. So what are some of the things within that value that you will not compromise on? That line that you will not cross? That's important because that makes it real. The third tip that I've got for you is that you've got to take those principles that you've listed down and you've got to take that line in the sand. Now you've got to embed it into your daily lives. What does that mean? That means if you're a manager, or if you're a boss, or if you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, you've got to embed it into the systems, the policies, the processes, and the procedures in your organization. You've got to put it in such a way that it sort of enforces the principle, in this case, integrity. A good example is the no gift policy that's being propagated around in a fair number of organizations these days. So that helps to make it real. The other aspect, if you're an employee or if you're a staff, and chances are you're going to be working in an organization that professes to have integrity, well, what you really want to do is to understand why. What are the implications of integrity in your organization? And then I would suggest having a conversation with your boss to talk about the behaviors that they expect you to have in order for you to display integrity. By doing so, both of you have alignment in understanding what it truly means in the context that you guys are in on a daily basis. So with that, you sort of have a more holistic and more real view of what integrity is all about. So that's our short take on integrity. Not easy, but critical. Oh, you know what? We'll also be discussing this on AFO Radio every Tuesday at 12 to 1 o'clock, where we're going to be talking about integrity, we're going to be talking about other values like gratefulness and loyalty, and so on and so forth. We'll be doing that live with Meg, so join us there.